It's been over 7 weeks since the Chief Minister tabled his motion, calling for parts of the Principal Auditor's report to be rejected, with some 13 amendments made since. Today, the opposition leader finally got to have his say on the amended motion, which also calls for a counter-report to be produced. Keith Azopardi accused the GSD government of being a danger to democratic governance, playing the victim when they are the aggressor.
They trash talk their way, or they try to trash talk their way out of the serious spectre of waste, abuse and corruption. It shows that this is a constitutional outrage that cannot be tolerated.
Mr. Azopardi defended the former Principal Auditor, whom he said acted within his constitutional powers, and accused the Chief Minister of attempting to weaponise Parliament against him in what had become a kangaroo court.
And this is unprecedented, Madam Speaker, as an attack on a public servant. It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented as an attack on constitutional protections. It usurps the role of the courts. It abuses the role of this Parliament, which is to hold the government to account, and which should not be weaponized against public officers. And we shouldn't be here, Madam Speaker, because this process that has been mounted by the government abuses the protections, the independence of the auditor, and the process of this Parliament, which is to hold the government to account. What they do on the other side is to hijack Parliament, because they're in a permanent executive majority, to then weaponize Parliament against the Principal Auditor in an unconstitutional way.
The GSD leader said the motion was a smokescreen of repetition and delay, but ultimately he asked, did the things the Principal Auditor noted in his report happen?
If there's a breakdown of trust, Madam Speaker, it's because of the antics of the GSD government. From presiding over waste and abuse, their opaque financial transactions, the political favoritism, the cronyism, the erosion of checks and balances, the intolerance to criticism or abuse of its power. These antics manifest themselves from the trashing of the auditor.
Mr. Azopardi said the Principal Auditor was merely fulfilling his constitutional function and, far from being politically biased, was simply expressing his views as he's entitled to do.
Mr. Sacramento has been subjected to some incredible language to serve their ends. So to serve their ends, Madam Speaker, they've been willing to deploy the most reckless of language on a Principal Auditor, a career civil servant they congratulated for dedicated service 6 weeks before this report. I struggle to think, and I have not been able to find, that any public officer in our history has ever been described in this Parliament by an elected member of this House in that way, let alone by a serving Chief Minister. What a disgrace, Madam Speaker. What a letdown for public servants, the hard-working public servants who have got to hear that, who hold Mr. Sacramento in esteem and respect, who know what he is. How dangerous it is for them to receive that subliminal message, that if you turn and disagree with the government will use all its weight and power against you. And ironically, your own resources by using taxpayers' money to instruct expensive lawyers against you. What a disgrace, Madam Speaker, that we are in that kind of Gibraltar, because beware, Big Brother is watching you. And the effect of a motion, Madam Speaker, is to condemn, censure, accuse. This is not about correction. This is about persecution. Persecution. Because this is the only place where he is certain of a verdict. These political tensions also arise in England. And yet, those tensions do not lead to this kind of debate. Because there is a need for that relationship of respect, but they are tearing it down. The government may be doing it for its own political ends, but the problem of doing it in the way that they're doing it is that they are bringing the house down with all the constitutional protections to the auditor, which they are seeking to attack.
After almost 4 hours, Parliament has adjourned to 4:30 tomorrow, slightly later than envisaged due to what the Chief Minister said was an extraordinarily serious matter.